Hi, I'm Dr. Nadine Wong. Would you like to know the expression of a man? Well, join me on the Now Talk Show. The Now Talk Show is an intimate conversation with men to highlight the pivotal awakening of his past that has brought him from trials into triumph into the now. The Now Talk Show will be sponsored by the Alabaster Wellness Clinic. Please stay tuned.
Good evening, good morning. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Now Talk Show. I am your host, Dr. Nadine Wong. I am so honored to have the pleasure to speak with another distinguished gentleman. We have with us in our midst Mr. Howard Green. Mr. Howard Green is here to express himself and to express from the heart of a man. So, without further ado, let us welcome to the Now Talk Show, Mr. Howard Green.
Wow. Hello, hello, Nadine. How are you?
I am doing well. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for
And
accepting.
thank you for having me on the show. And yeah, this is beautiful. I love it.
Wow, well, thank you. So, as you are aware, the Now Talk Show is a platform for men to express themselves. The voice of a man has the power to transform, to make things happen. So, we would like to offer you this safe platform for you just to express yourself from the point of view in terms of who are you? Where were you born? Who is Howard Green? Let's start with that first question.
Well, Howard Green is a simple man.
Oh, okay.
I was born in Kingston, Jamaica,
Okay.
and I came to Canada at a very, very early age.
Mhm.
And went to school here, went to college, went to I study film and television at George Brown College, and and now I'm actually working in the film and entertainment business.
Okay.
Mhm.
So you were born and raised in Jamaica. Were you from a home to family? Like what was growing up like in Jamaica? And I mean, you were young, so it's your parents that brought you to Canada. But what was that transition like?
Well, you know what? I came here really, really at an early age, and just leaving Jamaica at that early age and coming here
Mhm.
was a culture shock, really. Uh,
Please share. Please
I mean,
share
I
what are
mean,
some of the things?
coming here to another world, because you used to that world in Jamaica where you grew up, and coming
Mhm.
to somewhere as foreign, and coming into the cold weather,
Ah,
which
now
which
we're talking.
which
Yes.
which I have no knowledge of, of the cold weather, and experiencing it. It was dreadful. And I
Uh-huh.
remember the first year being here, I wanted to go back because I'm like, man, I can't handle this. I mean, it's too cold, you know.
Wow.
But then
Yeah.
over the years, I got used to it, and
You got used to the cold?
yeah, I got used to it. But now, when I was younger, but now that I'm getting older, now I'm a little older.
Ah,
Now I want to get out of it.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Wow. So what parish were you raised in or your family's from?
St. Catherine.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. That's
yeah.
pretty good. So when you migrated, you came to Toronto. Where exactly? Were you in the east or the west end?
I was in the West End. I was in the Jane and Black Creek area. That's where I was.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So what was life like? Now you're in a new culture and different temperature, how to analyze stuff. Like what was that like for you?
It was different, just trying to adapt, because I came here in the early '70s, and I just remember just being in school. Even that was a challenge, because there wasn't many black kids.
Okay.
And I was bullied too. You know,
Really?
oh yeah, I was bullied in
For
school
what?
growing up.
What was the reason why you were being bullied? Because you brought a better lunch or
I think because I was different. You know,
okay.
I was different, and the kids. I mean, most of the kids were white. I think I was the only black kid that was in my class.
Okay.
So I grew up, being bullied as a young kid in school. Yeah.
Wow.
Hmm.
Yes. That's that's interesting because
Yeah. Yeah. I
so
remember. I
many.
remember this young kid was picking on me, and I was so afraid of him. Every time I would see him, I would kind of like you try to hide from him, and then go home. Leave school and go home early. And I remember one day, I just had to kind of stand up to him, and I think I punched him in the solar plex, and then he went down. After that day, he never messed with me again.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Was he the only person who bullied you, or you kind of set the tone and every other bully kind of just stepped back?
Yeah, he was the only one. He was the only one that was bullying me. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
They say oftentimes a child who bullies another, it's a cry for help because of something they're lacking at home or so on. Did you ever, make contact or see him or pass by or look him up on Facebook or anything?
Oh no, that was so long ago.
Oh wow. So you went to high school, you had some interesting experience.
Mhm.
So how did tell us about the transition? Now you're in high school and you went to George Brown. How did you always know you wanted to do make movies, or was there a movie you saw that inspired you, or there was a story of your own that you wanted to capture and you wanted to be the mouthpiece? So tell us about that.
Yeah. You know what? Really, for me, it was just watching those martial arts movies as a kid.
Ah, Bruce
because
Lee.
because growing up in Jamaica, my uncle
Yes.
used to take me to the theater and to watch movies.
Right.
So
Yes.
I got really inspired by the
Hmm.
world of cinema and entertainment,
Right.
and then coming to Canada, after watching these martial arts film,
Hmm.
the Bruce Lee and the Jackie Chan film that really
That's
inspired me.
right.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's what I want to do. You know,
Hmm.
this is it. After watching that Bruce Lee movie, man, he's that dude just jumped off the screen. He was so charismatic, and the energy and all. And I'm like, that's what I want to do. That's where I want to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
And
I
then
absolutely
from there
love
I started.
martial arts.
Then from there I started to learn the martial arts, and I
Hmm.
started to pursue it.
Hmm.
And yeah, and here I am.
Here you are.
Yeah.
I absolutely love, we call them Kung Fu movies.
Right.
Bruce Lee, I absolutely, because as a child as well, I remember my uncle used to solely be responsible for bringing those movies you pay 10 cents to go in and see. And
Right.
all the kids would, but of course, after, all the guys would be kicking at us because they're practicing. Did you have that experience?
Oh
When you
yes.
see it, you kind of have that energy now, you can kick everything down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow,
Yes.
that's
Yes.
awesome. Okay, so Bruce Lee movie inspired you.
Mhm.
So now you went to George Brown, you're pursuing the film as a path. What was that like? Did you, for any reason, was open to any other direction in terms of different types of film, or it's just solely because of martial arts?
Yeah. I just wanted to study filmmaking and and pursue it more.
Mm-hmm.
And I took some courses over there, and then from there
Mm-hmm.
I remember going to the gym and just learning boxing and martial arts, and they were
Mm-hmm.
making a movie there at the
Mm-hmm.
time at the gym, and they asked me if I wanted to be a part of the film. I'm like, yeah, I jumped at it,
Wow,
and
you're
then
an extra.
yeah, and then it started from there, and then here I am.
Here you are.
Yeah.
Wow. So what is it like? I mean, you know, when you are acting, we're getting a little of a background sound. When you're acting as an extra, did you have an encounter where you got kicked really bad, but you kind of had to put that face on that you're smiling or you're a tough guy kind of thing?
Yeah, well, you know what? When I first started out being, that was just, being an extra is like, you're in the background and you're just trying to just getting the just of the film business, just learning and
That's
seeing
right.
how everything works, right?
Right.
And then from there, I made the transition into doing, movie stunts, like being a
Mhm.
stuntman.
Right.
I'm working on a lot of the big studio films,
Hmm.
and then make that transition to actually producing my own films.
Okay, so I know I love watching action movie, and a lot of times when you interview the actual art actors, they would say, "Oh, all the credit goes to my stunt double."
Mhm.
So there is a lot of things you have to encounter to be a stunt double. Mental training for the fire and the car to be crashing and so on. How do you prepare yourself as a stunt double? I'm not sure. There's a background sound that we've never had before?
Yeah, I'm hearing it too. Now it's gone.
Okay, all right. Let's keep it there.
Okay,
Sorry. Go ahead.
let's come back. Yeah. Well, for me, it comes naturally, really.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is something that I want to do. This is something
Mm-hmm.
that I have interest in. So when that adrenaline starts flowing, man, you just go with it. You just kind of go with that, and
Mm-hmm.
and just dig deep into your mind and know that, hey, everything's gonna be okay, everything's gonna be fine. This is where I want to be. All right.
Do you remember your first stunt?
My first stunt. I've done so many. The first, no, you know what? I don't remember the first one. There's so many of them. So
Okay.
I worked on hundreds of movies. So many.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But but
Oh,
but some of the earlier ones are like these independent martial arts movie, like a movie called Tiger Claws and Operation Golden Phoenix, and these are just independent films that's shot in Toronto, and so yeah, those are some of the earlier ones.
okay. So we have pictures of that. That's amazing. That's amazing. How many hours a day do you train to really get in shape?
Well, I used to train 3 times a day.
Wow.
But now I don't train as much anymore, but yeah, 3 times a day, before I go to school, when I come home from school, and then at nighttime I go for a run.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm naturally going to ask, what do you eat to keep yourself in shape to maintain the physique?
I try to eat right, you know low carbs diet, a lot of vegetables, lot of fruit, um drink a lot of water,
Hmm.
a lot of natural juices,
Hmm.
stuff that's good for the body, and try to keep it clean as possible. Fish and chicken. I don't eat red meat. I stay away from red meat,
Okay.
and just a lot of vegetables, and a lot of fiber, which is really good for the body.
Really good for the body. And of course, rest.
Yes, and rest.
Of
Absolutely.
course, rest.
Sleep is
Okay.
very important. Sleep is essential. So your body needs to rest, so it can grow. It can rejuvenate.
Right.
Right.
Well, so let's move into the other area. So we talk about you've done acting, stunts, and so on. So now you've gotten to the place where you're finding yourself as a behind the scenes. You're creating the movies, you're making the movies. Tell us about that. What inspired you? I mean, the first movie you got known as the Black Leather Soul. I mean, you got great award and recognition for that. But how did you come up with the name and tell us the inspiration for the movie?
Yeah. Well, I was working on a movie in Toronto called uh, it's called The Famous Jet Jackson.
Okay.
It's a long time ago, and I was the lead stunt double on that show.
Mm-hmm.
And I met a young man on that show. His name is Gordon Green. No relations.
Okay. Okay.
Same last name, but his name is spelled with an E at the end.
Okay.
And him and I became fast friends. And he's from LA. I'm from Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a lead on the show. He plays the father um, to the young actor that I was a stunt double for.
Okay.
And we became friends. And then he started writing, scripts,
Mm-hmm.
and then he wrote this piece called Black Leather Souls, which is a period piece set in 1930s Harlem, and it's about a son of a preacher
Mm-hmm.
who runs away from home because he has a dream to become a dancer, but his father don't want him to dance. His father wants him to
Stay in church and
church,
live on the other side of the path.
right,
Okay.
because he thinks that dancing is like the devil's work and you shouldn't be doing that. So he runs away from home to pursue his dream. And while he's away, he end up dancing on the street and getting shot. So he can't dance no more. So now he moves to Harlem and he opens a nightclub, and he lives vicariously through these acts in the nightclub. And he owes money to the mob. The mob is after him, and he's back against the wall. So it's a really, really good piece. So he wrote it, and we had it as a stage play in Hollywood. We put it up as a stage at the Lee Strasberg Theater. And then from there we decided to shoot a short film, to make into a feature.
Right.
Yeah, and then we shot the short, brought it to a bunch of festivals, won a bunch of awards, and now we're developing that into a feature film.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's that the inspiration regard for the first movie that you did.
Yeah, that's where it first started. That was the first introduction to me, producing, my first short and features.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you come up with the name Black Leather Soul?
Yeah, Black Leather Soul. Soul is the feet, is the shoe.
Right.
Tap. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. So he's the one that came up with that name, and and it just has to do with the dancing and tapping, and set in 1930s Harlem. It's a Harlem piece during the Harlem Renaissance, during 1930s, during the Great Depression.
So when you're behind the scene, do you know how to tap? Did you learn anything? Do you find the camera separates you from being a part of the acting, or it restrains you?
Right. Well, actually, I wasn't the one that was tapping. I don't tap. Actors do that. But yeah, I would love to do that. It's a beautiful art, and it's one of those art that's kind of lost. And I can't wait to produce this film. Me and my partner, to bring this art back.
Right.
Mix the tap dance with modern dance, and possibly have a female hoofer, like a female dancer, face off with a male dancer. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I think that vision is great as well. So your movie got a great accolade from the NAACP. What was that like when you got called that this award? They're basically giving it to your movie. What was that like? Where were you when you got the word?
Actually, I wasn't there. I was in Toronto, but my partner was at the event. We were nominated for 7 NAACP theater. This is theater awards.
Theater award, correct? Yeah. Yes.
And I think out of the 7, we won 3.
Wow.
Yeah. Which is really good. Yeah.
So where were you? Your partner called. Where did you receive the call? What did you do? Did you fly back out to LA?
Yeah, I was trying to work on another film, and and he was there. So I can't make it, so he's there.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, so tell us about the other film that you have called Machete Soul. Now I saw it, and I don't do horror movies, so you're gonna have to walk us through this story, because this is totally different from the tap dancing, Black Leather Soul, to now we're taking another turn of something that is terrifying. So tell us about that movie and what was the inspiration behind it.
Yeah, well, you know what, Machete Joe came from another script that my producing partner wrote, and the script is called Weekend in Paradise, and this is set in Jamaica, but within that story is a character called Machete Man.
Okay.
And Machete Man is he's a guy that lives up in the mountains, and he has a machete.
Right.
And I thought of the idea. I'm like, you know what? I like this character. Why don't we take this guy out of this script and write a story around him and call it Machete Joe?
Right.
And that's how that was born. you know, and then
And for those who don't know what a machete is, let, us highlight really what it is. It's a large knife, right?
it's a large, yeah, it's like a
It's a
cutlass.
large knife
It's like in
with a
Jamaica
curve.
they call it cutlass.
Cutlass, right? With a curve.
Yeah,
With a curve.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So your partner wrote the write up, and you create the film.
Mhm.
So tell us about this story, because I don't do horror movie, but this movie is quite intriguing. So you
Mhm.
took his story, and how did you put it together in a movie?
Well, horror films are very lucrative, and
Hmm.
you can make them really cheap, and
Mm-hmm.
they can become very successful. You know, like for example, when you look at Get Out, which is Jordan Peele's, like his big breakout film, that was shot for a really, really low budget, and it made over $300 million.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing about horror film. You know, horror really, um, you know, when it comes to those kind of genre films, it really, it's not like a comedy where it travels. So what's funny in America may not be funny in Italy or other parts of the world, but
Right.
horror, I mean, everybody gets scared. So
Mm-hmm.
horror and action are those two genres where anyone can understand. Everyone loves action, and everyone loves can understand horror. Everyone can be horrified, right? Or scared, or get scared. So we decided to shoot that horror film on a really low budget,
Mm-hmm.
and we shot it, and we got distribution. It was on DVD, VOD.
Mm-hmm.
It went to Walmart. It was on Netflix as well. This is like 10 years ago. It's one of the first films, I think, out of Canada. I'm probably one of the first guys out of Canada to have a horror film on Netflix. This is going back 10 years ago, before Netflix become Netflix. Before
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
it is Netflix.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a dream come true.
Right. So how do you celebrate the dreams that you have that are coming through? How do
And
you?
by the way, sorry to interrupt. By the way, we won best horror thriller at the San Diego Black Film Festival. Um,
Wow! Congratulations again.
thank you. Yeah, for that film. Going back, I think it was 8 years ago. Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, um, that is a great inspiration. You know, when you share your story that, listen, you were bullied at some point,
Hmm.
and that was like your trial, and then you've overcome into this person with such great accolades. I mean, a stuntman, a movie producer. I mean, you are connected to some of the key A-listers out there. I mean, how did you feel the first time you went to LA and I saw Chris Tucker? I see some, some really big name Bruce Willis and so on. What was that relationship like, or that connection?
Well, I met with Chris Tucker. I met Chris Tucker because I go to a lot of festivals,
Hmm.
and I do a lot of networking,
Right.
and going to these festivals and work, not those festivals and events and film event, but being in Toronto and working on so many films. You meet so many people, and then you just build your relationships,
Hmm.
your contact with these people, and then when you go to these events, then you keep running into these people all the time. So I go to a lot of events. I go to just about every award show that you can think of,
Okay.
and festivals, to showcase my work. So,
Hmm.
and then I build from there, and build and develop relationships, with other producers and talent, and so on and so
Hmm.
forth. Yeah.
Wow. Well, these pictures are very impressive. You look fabulous. You have a great eye for fashion. I must tell you that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm trying. I'm trying.
Oh no,
I'm
you
not. I'm
passed
not 100.
try.
percent I'm not 100% there yet, but I'm trying.
Oh, you passed try. We stamp and seal it. You really you look absolutely amazing here. Oh, there's one with you and Oprah as well.
Yeah, yeah. I met Oprah at when me and my other producing partner, Marcel Jones. We met her at the Essence luncheon in LA.
Hmm.
Yeah, I went to that, and we met her there, You know, she was such a beautiful spirit and very
Yes,
nice
she is.
lady. Yeah.
So, with all the persons who you have met, is there one particular person who have imparted any words of wisdom to you in terms of you going forward?
Oh man, so many. Quincy Jones. I had a nice talk with Quincy Jones.
Mm-hmm.
He gave me some nice words of wisdom. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he tells me to keep on doing what I'm doing. Don't give up. You know, give it all you got. You know, and just don't give up. Basically, you know, and just believe in yourself because dreams do come true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's a message. That's a message and a foundation in itself. And
Mm,
based on that, you can only build up, like keep going forward.
right. Right.
Wow.
Oh,
So tell
absolutely.
us, what are you doing now?
Now I'm just taking care of myself right now. You know, during this
Tell us how you're doing that. I
during
know
this
you work out 3 times a day, you
during
eat well.
during
So,
this pandemic, I'm taking care of myself and you know, just eating right, you know, making sure the right food's going into my body
mhm,
and staying healthy and
mhm.
because you know it's you know since the last 6 months the world you know we woke up to a whole another world. You know,
Yes, yes, the new normal.
yeah, and you know we have to be careful. Your health is your wealth, so you got to really got to take care of
Mhm.
that. Because
Yes.
if you don't have that, you know, then you really have nothing. Because you know, when you're sick, you know, nothing matters. All you want to do is just get better. You know,
I agree.
it doesn't matter how much money you have in the bank account. It doesn't matter what your hair look like, your nails look like, what clothes you wear. You just want to get better.
You
And
just want to get better.
yeah, so I'm just focused on I'm building my make my immune system strong and staying healthy
Hmm.
and you know continue working on you know projects you know with my
Hmm.
producing partner you know the
Hmm.
one that lives in LA, his name is Gordon Green, and my other producing partner that lives there, his name is Marcel Jones. You
Hmm.
know, and you know we're just bouncing ideas off each other and working on different stuff, you know. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. So here's a question that I always ask my guests. What would you tell your younger self where you are right now? What would you say to your younger self?
You know what? Honestly, I wouldn't tell my younger self anything. You know, I am where I want. I am where I'm at because I'm supposed to be there. You know, I can't go back and change anything. You know,
Okay.
I am where I'm at. So
Hmm.
I wouldn't want to tell my younger self anything. You know, this is where I'm supposed to be.
This is destiny. This is
Yeah, yeah,
God designed for your life.
right, absolutely.
Right. And that's such a that's very empowering because so many times in life people um, they branch out in so many different things and still have not find that peace in terms of destiny. And here you are, 20 years in the business,
Hmm.
still in Toronto, and you go back and forth to LA, and still working out 3 times a day.
Hmm.
You're right. Your
Well,
health
I
is
don't
your
work out
wealth.
as much anymore.
Hmm.
You know, as hard as I used to before. So,
Right.
but I do work out. You know, you know keep the body and the mind, and you know
Hmm.
do some meditation. You know, because you know
Hmm.
you have to because if you don't do it, then then you lose all that stuff. So it's good to keep that going. You know,
Keep that going.
I always say to people, you know, like anything you do, you know, the key is to be consistent. Consistency is the key. You know,
Hmm.
you become who you are through constant repetition. You know, Michael Jordan became Michael Jordan because he was consistent in the things that he was doing. You know what I'm saying? And you have to have the love for what you do. So it's you know, it's not about money. It's not about anything like that. It's about what you love to do, and just be
Hmm.
consistent in that thing that you love, and
Hmm.
you will definitely reap the benefits.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a that right there is foundation. I mean,
Hmm.
you're living it. You're a true testament of that.
Hmm. Hmm. Well,
Wow.
thank you very much.
So what does tomorrow bring for you? You're working on film, but you're in COVID, you're kind of recovering.
Mhm.
Um, are you going through COVID period? What does tomorrow look like for you?
Well, you know what? I'm just taking it one day at a time. You know, taking it one day at a time, and you know, each day I wake up, it's a blessing. You know, once my eyes open, then it's a good day. You know,
A good day.
I don't sweat things. Sometimes you're like, man, you start sweating over stuff.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you wake up in the morning, it's a good day.
Mm-hmm.
And situation can change, but as long as you're alive and you wake up, it's
Mm-hmm.
great. You know. So
Wow.
I just take one day at a time, and within that day, I just continue to do the things that I love. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, what word of encouragement would you offer a young producer, stunt person? Quincy Jones imparted words of wisdom. We're almost down to the end of the interview. So, what word of encouragement would you encourage a young producer who is kind of wavering as to what to do?
Well, you have to. It's important to be around like-minded people, like the
Okay.
that's gonna uplift you and take you to the next level. So I would say just surround yourself with the right people.
Mm-hmm.
That's very important. You have to surround yourself with the right people, and just basically believe in yourself. And just love what you do. Once you love what you do and you believe in yourself and you surround yourself with the right people, then and just believe in God and know that there's a higher power that will guide you,
Mm-hmm.
through everything that you do,
Mm-hmm.
then you'll be unstoppable. Dreams really do come true. I've seen that. I've worked with so many people that
Mm-hmm.
that I've seen them, when first started out to seeing where they are now,
Mm-hmm.
and how their worth ethics is, and the people that they're around and who they surround themselves with, and you know, uh, it really does. Dreams really do come true. You just got to believe it and just be consistent. Like I said, the key is to be consistent in that thing that you do. You know,
Right.
yeah,
Well said. Well said.
yeah.
I want to thank you so very much for your time. And I would like again just to share that the Now Talk Show is sponsored by the Alabaster Wellness Clinic, where we specialize in trichology, integrative medicine, and clinical studies.
Mhm.
Mr. Howard Green, there is just no words, but I'll just start with this. Thank you so very much. Your time is the most important thing that you could have offered, and you have surely invested it well in us tonight. And even our guests, thank you for your time as well, sharing this great moment and great interview with you. Is there anything else that you would like to share with us before we go?
Well, I just want to say thank you for having me. I appreciate you, and keep doing what you're doing. This is a great um, way to communicate with people and to express oneself. And I really enjoyed this interview, and looking forward to be back on again, like whenever you want me to be there again. To
Oh, be careful now, because perhaps I'll tell you, listen, the A-listers black book you have, okay, we need this person, that person, everybody come on over. It'll be a great interview. By all means, we really appreciate you taking the time. Is there any kind of a social media platform that you would like to, make know of, that audience will reach out to your movies, or if you have a particular charity cause or anything of that sort?
Yeah, they can reach out to me on Instagram or Facebook. Facebook is
Mm-hmm.
just Howard Green.
Mm-hmm.
Instagram is the real Howard Green, and
Mm-hmm.
they can connect, with me by through those social media platform.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm open, to pay forward and to give back. So anyone out there that wants to learn, or have any questions about the world of film and entertainment, um, you know, boxing, martial arts, fitness, anything like that, I'm willing to share my knowledge. And because this knowledge that I have is
Mm-hmm.
it's not for me. It's for me
It's to be shared.
to
Yes.
be shared. It's for me to give it away, and then that person can learn and be inspired, and then share that with someone else. So
Mm-hmm.
so that's important to pay it forward, and to help each other, to grow and to become.
I believe that I'm more likely to be the first one that calls after this, because I believe in what you're doing. I believe in framing the story and playing it out so others can connect.
Hmm.
And I don't want to make a film. I think the experiences, shows of such sort as a professional and just interacting with persons from day to day, I think there's stories everywhere.
Hmm.
And when you have persons of yourself, like yourself, with the passion to capture it,
Right.
I just want to know the how, and how we can do it best to keep sharing inspirational stories, make our history in terms of, writing our own history,
Abs-
and yeah,
Absolutely.
I
And
think.
I do have my partner and I have some really good stories that we're working on.
Mhm.
Working on a black superhero type
Love it.
episodic that hopefully we'll shoot sometime in the coming year. And so
Mhm.
we have a bunch of projects in that same 1930s dance drama. So
Right.
we have a bunch of stuff that we're working on. So, and I can't wait to show it to the world. To
We
get
are
it.
waiting.
Yes, absolutely.
We are waiting. And when you have completed the project,
Hmm.
we are going to invite you to come back, and perhaps your producer, your partners, the group, the team you work with.
Hmm.
We can do an interview as well, just to hear everybody's point of view, how like-minded minds work together in order to produce what I know will be a great film.
Right, absolutely.
Wow.
And you like my partner too. His name is Gordon Green. And my other partner, Marcel Jones. They're great human being, and and we work well together. So
Right.
I'm happy to have them as my partner.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, teamwork make the dream work.
Oh,
I heard
absolutely,
that all through this COVID time. Teamwork makes the dream work. So that's a good thing.
absolutely.
Well, once again, I say thank you for your time. And again, to our audience, thank you for joining the Now Talk Show. The Now Talk Show is sponsored by the Alabaster Wellness Clinic, where we specialize in trichology, integrative medicine, and clinical counseling. Mr. Green, again, thank you. Thank you so very much. And as we say from one Jamaican to another, walk good.
Yes, yes, I will definitely do that. And you do the same too.
Oh, I will. Thank you so very much. But I'm calling you. I'm calling you. And I know my phone right now, you should see the text. I have so many persons who have interest in the martial arts and the movie, where. So I don't even want to try to answer the question. So I'm about to forward everybody to you. That way, you can definitely pay it forward in that way.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here to help, and that's important. This is the success that you have is not for you only. It's for you to
Mhm.
share with other people, and that's the blessings right there. You know,
That's the blessings right there.
bless other
That's a
people.
powerful statement. That's the blessing right there.
Right.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time, audience. We thank you again. Good evening, good afternoon. Thank you for joining the Now Talk Show. I am your host, Dr. Nadine Wong, and today we had another distinguished gentleman, Howard Green, an exceptional distinguished gentleman. Have a good evening.
And thank you for having me. God bless you.
You too as well.
Okay.